All right, welcome back to Premiership Week 5. We have Global Yeti versus MANDEM. This is Week 5 of ETF2L, and I'm joined by DumTum. I am Delta Market. How are we doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Should be a fun one ahead of us here, and this is maybe an interesting one, I guess. The Poles coming off of a good match last week, probably have some good confidence in them, but the big teams don't stop coming, and the MANDEM will be no exception for them.
Yeah, I do agree with that. We've seen this, I believe Div 1 winner is the Poland team, and they've kind of had a bit of a rough start to this season. They've managed to tie a team, but they kind of got, if I might say, rolled by three other matches. So they're kind of looking for a way to get back in the season, show what they're made of. Would you agree with that?
A little bit so. The dream for playoffs is probably out of the cards, but there's still a universe where you can escape last very confidently so, especially with performances like we've seen of them on Bagel just a little while ago against the likes of TLR. Second map wasn't that great for them, unfortunately, but Koff had some promise for them, and they have some faith in it once again tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. Koth is one way to try to throw the other team off, kind of mix it up a bit. As we've seen in the past, it was used to be product where teams would pick that one up if they wanted to get their opponent into an uncomfortable situation. Now it's kind of shifted to Bagel. This is kind of the map you'll see teams that might be considered an underdog sometimes pull off wins on. Either way, this uh, Polish team must know what they're doing by picking this, and don't count them out on the 5 CP maps either.
Yeah, I would not necessarily agree that Bagel is necessarily as much as upset madness anymore as well. There's just two CoF maps now. Everyone just forcibly has to get a lot better, a lot faster at CoF in general. And this week in particular, with the map rotation we have each different week having only a section of the map available, both CoF maps were able to be picked for this match, I believe, and we had to settle with one of them. So Bagel comes through eventually, I suppose, when you have two choices. This is the one people wanted, I suppose. Still always happy to see this map. For all we know, MANDEM is still really strong on this map. Had unfortunately choked on it a couple times in last season's playoffs maybe, but by and large always looked pretty strong on it as well in the past few seasons. So there are no slouches here as well. They're more than happy to let it go through as well. You only have the one ban each week, and they did not waste it on something that they're still having good confidence in as well. So as it goes with these sort of things, both teams with good faith into this. MANDEM themselves, obviously, very strong season up to this point. Only lost a single map so far against Scatter, a team that did also beat the Poles pretty handily. So I'm sure they're not feeling too stressed out by this matchup so far. But you never know, weird things happen, and maybe the Polish Scout duo can perform some miracles tonight.
Yeah, as you said, and even though they did lose one map, they did win the second map in that series, so not even a total loss, it was just a tie in the end.
Very much, and with that, we are out for blood now here on Bagel. We'll see which team can come out on top, get themselves some points on the leaderboards for this week's effort. Let's see if the COP map can have any interesting start right away with the mid-fight. Standard lineup, unsurprisingly, not much sniping commonly to be seen on this map, and the slow start as well, for all its worth. Both teams pretty careful at the beginning of this mid-fight. No one wants it to go deep just yet. As the ones coming through, they're seeing Fancy's needy target hit some good damage, but not going down just yet. But Fancy stickies in return. The Scout stepping at the line takes way too much damage from that. Everyone will go down, and that opens the floodgate immediately over the point. The Poles at least realize that it's going wrong pretty quickly. Managed to get the Met out alive, but that's still far from what they wanted in the end.
Yeah, MANDEM really opened up with that sticky sink onto that Scout on the top left, and then I think they just took another frag in the house, so really powerful mid coming out for the side of MANDEM. And look at this forward hold. They have everyone in the right side, but it's going to be the left side. The Polish team's busting through Pole all the way through, doing so much damage, but actually the Uber does get forced, and they drop both their scouts here. And on the back lines, this flank play worked out well. MANDEM gets two, and they're cutting off the medic
behind them. This is beautiful from MANDEM, yeah. They didn't want to use that Uber as well, and they're just dropping so many people before they even did.
Yeah, and then, as you said, that flank really getting the medic down is going to allow kind of a snowball effect here where now MANDEM can keep up their forward hold and they still have Uber advantage. And look at this, they might find another frag over at Haunt, finding Wanzu over there. That's just going to keep up this forward hold.
Yeah, Vonshu down will hurt a little bit trying to get out of here, but the fact of that is, as long as he was still on hand on the blue side, this will be a near impossible task anyway. This forward hold is really just what holds together good times on a Bagel for the most part. Once you get to points, there's a lot of trading back and forth with the cap itself. Want to have the forward as long as he can, and they're just stepping about it barely, and this chase is looking so good. They need to get Kidudo. The Uber will last long enough for that, and I've mentioned many times that your ability to know when you can go deep into a push like this on the blue side, on the forward hold like this, makes such a big difference, knowing what you can and cannot get away with into the spawn, and it will look pretty nice. Soldier might be a little late here. Horns does spite of it more than he can shoot. That's the only casualty. Not great maybe at the end there, but the rest of this was beautiful.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. A lot of teams that try to do those Ubers end up popping on nothing, but here we see MANDEM really coordinating that well, getting all they needed, and smartly backing up. They're not forward holding anymore because they weren't able to. Now they're just holding back behind the point. Lardok's in the left house, doing really good spam across the point. And look at this, they're actually going to allow Global YETI to cap this point. Maybe it's because they want the Uber to come out. Either way, Lardok's does go down in left house, and the Uber does come out onto Balder, trying to find Promok, who's jumping away, probably going to crater, and trades are going down, and it actually looks like this did not quite go the way of MANDEM. Scout founding a late kill onto Kidu, though, turned that completely around.
Yeah, that's all they needed. Like I said, Uber upcoming, certainly something they just wanted to play around, get this charge going, get as much value out of it as they could. Losing one early that hurts, but they still have enough standing at the end to not just get the med kill, but also get themselves out alive. Having to chase deep like that, always dangerous to have to just dive deep for a med kill at the very end of a fight like that. But managed to get alive out of this one just yet. However, there's the spawns coming through, and they might have forgotten about those, trying to just lazily stroll up to a forward hold. Priority is just a bit out of whack for MANDEM for just a second, and that still gives them some hope, but you need a bit more than that right now to still come back to the Polish side. They're behind quite a bit. 20 seconds left on MANDEM. They still haven't recapped yet either, but at least they have the Uber to do it.
Yeah, when you hold the point, your spawns are so much slower, and it looks like that's what hurt MANDEM there. They tried to push across, but those respawners were all in force, managing to take down June for probably the first time this match, and now we might see the Global YETI side try to do a forward hold, but it looks like they got all the way pushed back and got punished for it. Soldier down, Scout down as well. That's going to be 2 down already. MANDEM, they're just taking across the points, and I'm not sure there's anything that can stop them here. There's Scouts in, the Soldiers all the way in behind, Kidu's down, and that's all the frags they need.
Very much. A couple seconds left, but at this point it's just fighting against the odds. Grimmers goes in for one more kill. That's all we really have left going for us. I think on the red team there. Quill goes down in front of the point. Watches them in the eyes as the cap turns blue for the final time this round. MANDEM gets this first little point here. 2 more to go to get to the winning scoreline, but looking incredibly strong so far.
Definitely off of that first mid, that forward hold probably took 2 minutes off the clock, if not even more than that. So we're going to have to see the mids go differently and maybe able to hold some ground. Not Global YETI needs to not get forward held against.
Very much so, but if MANDEM can continue playing like they have so far, there's not much slowing them down at all. That said, mid-fights have been slow, I guess. Certainly not the super aggressive ones, but they played smart last time as well to get the first kill and then convert from there. So we're just patiently waiting for the best opportunity to come around that we can find. 6 across the point, see if someone can make someone overextend someone to flank. Maybe both soldiers certainly peeking away on the flank buildings a little bit, but no one's going too deep just yet. They're taking a lot of damage, gotta be careful there, but they're having much more control of point during all of this. They might just sneak away the cap before anything really happens too much. Oh, that is the chase on the flank actually will work brilliantly. Send a soldier deep, trade 2 for 1, good enough. Just can't lose Fancy on point, but the demo fight will go in favor of the red demo man.
Yeah, and then we see the soldier bombing in, and unfortunately, I think Kidu actually dropped due to that soldier bomb. Wanzu as well getting caught out, so that's not going to go the side of Global YETI. It looked like that fight was actually not going terribly for them. They had a lot of pressure on point for Global YETI. They managed to get the demo, but while that was happening, the flank completely collapsed on both sides.
Not at all where you want to be. I guess it goes without, it went without saying so far as well, but hold it here with their backup lineup a little bit as well tonight. I guess both sides is a replacement here. They're Gazi murking for MANDEM, of course. On the other side, we have Stan stepping in, and he's a sub on this roster actually, with Kidu going from demo to medic. No Piku tonight for them here as well, and the bomb from Bonshu in the back lines, doing massive damage. That might just give them a chance. It certainly will not be a 2-minute forward hold at this point.
Yeah, we see the demo also going down. That Wanzu play caught out the medic. That Uber maybe too ambitious for MANDEM. I think they lost both soldiers at the end of the Uber, and then they weren't even out at the end of it because Wanzu was behind before June had left. Completely punished. Global YETI of their own doing a forward hold. Pearl on the right side. Promok on the left getting run at by a Scout though. Looks like his forward hold has fallen apart. Scout ran through main, took Promok down to 5 health. Uber has come out. They're trying to chase to the left side. Scrimus goes down though, and it looks like this Uber at most will find a scout, but actually it finds nothing. And in fact, these players might be caught. Kiddu trying to lead, but Lardox jumping into the left house, finding that frag.
There we go, that will exactly do everything Mandem could have possibly asked for. Force him in a really bad position, can get Dynamic safe and sound out of there. Catch Cruel at the back end of this too, just to make things even worse. And all of a sudden, looking up on the world again for the blue team. Might have a bit of a harder time holding this now. The Uber's coming up, the player's health was a little sketchy a second ago, but certainly make up for that if they just give you one small second. But it looks like the pulse might be a little faster than that, so no full forward hold at least. We'll have to fight this from back at point, but with Uber charge in hand, you have plenty of ways to do just that.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just taking it straight across. Simplest way often works. Demo bomb in, 3 frags. Fancy, put that one in the frag vid. But at the end of it, Balder, went down. Can't blame him. Trying to chase the medic. Nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, not able to find that frag, though.
Alright, so far so good. At least it buys some time. Certainly still ahead on the clock, but with that mad kill that the scout failed to get, it's going to be a bit more scary now. Kiddu doesn't have yet, mind you, so this is not a free Uber advantage push across the point, but now it's a matter of how much are you willing to just bluff the situation, and how much does Mandem respect that as well. How much are they fighting back against a team that has ad, but not Uber just yet, and looks like quite a bit in fact, and the bomb behind as well, where they're getting damage on point. Mixed results on both of those, but Kiddu will have finally. Now you really have to make sure that everything you do on blue will work. This force needs to happen sooner or later. Maybe you can get it already, but not before the cap goes through, unfortunately. Will turn red once again. They're a minute behind just now, and look at that, Mandem's not slowing down.
Yeah, Gazi just came in through the right house and dropped Kiddu, so that's the second drop. Really unfortunate there. Alov going forward, trying to get on this medic, but look at this. June is so safe in this bottom valley area, surrounded by a scout and soldier. Scrimus has some things to say about this, but it looks like they know. Scout checked that corner. Scrimus trying to win this fight versus the buff scout, not able to do so. So with this, we again are going to see the Mandem board hold with ad. I think this situation has finally happened from last round onto this round again. We're going to have to see Global YETI try something different here, and it looks like they're trying through the left side.
Let's see if they can get away with not having to use instantly, or at least actually be able to save lives with you this time around as well. For now, we're trying to do the format. It's working pretty nicely. Bait out the soldier bombs early. That certainly will do some damage right away. We're far from here as well, so you gotta be careful how they're playing this. And Mandem, without soldiers, still happy to pop the Uber right away too, seeing what they can do. But if the scout can't chase in time, and as long as the match on beam, they're not gonna happen much. So Kiddu is getting away, a little bit of chaos in the back end there, and they're leaving the med alone. A huge arrow as well at the end by June to just make sure the scouts have the easiest time possible, killing that guy and helping out right away from the soldier bomb the other side. Cruel went the wrong way from the medic, can't even get back in there for a kill at the end, and time is running out. They could never fall back to begin with, but in hindsight, it was never going to work well before that even came to matter.
Yeah, as you said, might have been a bit of desperation considering the clock situation, and Mandem took full advantage of that, not letting Kiddu escape, really just tightening the nails on this.
Yeah, it's looking good. There was a bit more stuff and agency out of the Polish team at the beginning of this round, but again, once Mandem got control, it just was more or less the same as the first round. From the halfway mark of the round to the bitter end, and I think that same statement might just be true for the rest of the map now as well. If Mandem does not make any crucial mistakes anymore, flank maybe peeking a little bit for something they're thinking about it. No one's committing too much just yet, just waiting for the demo to do any big damage, but not coming of it just now. There we go, Pulse taking a bit more initiative finally, not losing as much cap time on the first bit of the mid-fight as the last few times at least, getting a bit more point control right away, trying to maybe rush on the demo man. Alof wants to pull the trigger so bad, but the second he does, there's just both scouts hunting him down right away.
Yeah, and now we see Scrimus, who tried to go through the right house, but just got pushed back on point after Alov went down. And with this 4 down now, decided Global YETI. The start of that mid was looking really well. Global YETI playing on the flanks, but I think Mandem figured it out and just put both their scouts right on the point and took basically a 1v2, and that's really what won them for Mandem.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing. Their build fights might be slow to start with as well, but they're looking for those opportunities where they can just run down one person instantly, give him no time to react. Just seeing whoever slips up first, and they keep finding that mistake sooner or later. Looks good for Mandem so far this round then, but that's quite possibly the worst mid-win so far. There's immediately still an Ubercharge on the other side. They did not lose their medic in anything like that, but still numbers down. He have really bad trying to approach the point. They don't want to use early, but they might have to use a lot sooner than they would like anyway.
Yeah, and with this, the Uber didn't really find anything, and in fact, their team is just completely scattered from Global Yeti. They don't want to run into this Uber, so they have to back up, which means they weren't able to force, but they're trying to send their flank now, but they're isolated, they're alone, only two people on the flank, taking so much damage, but look at this, they came in on point, found Gazi, got the force off, but Kadu was left alone. Haunt got on that medic and cleaned them up.
It just becomes a scrappy fight. There's still people in from both teams. Red Soldier on point, trying desperately to get something out of this one, but we're not in the best position to chase the medic, and with that, there's plenty of time for the rest of the team to come back, clean up that kill. Allo's still hiding, but never had time to get in there as well. Just awkwardly stuck in a fight that you really can't win anymore. Gets back at least, but that's really not much of a victory right now, since half the time was already clocked down, and even if it's a small advantage as it is for June, that's gonna matter a whole lot when you're getting desperately low on time, getting to the end of this round and having to touch this cap so badly.
Yeah, look at where Gazi is. You probably have seen this spot in some open matches, perhaps, but you know, there's nothing wrong with trying out a spot like this. It's been 2 rounds. We haven't seen a whole lot of hiding from MANDEM, so maybe this play actually works for Gazi.
Okay, well, the bad news is June timed out, so Medic DC always a bit annoying. The good news is you just saw the pause unpause, so we should be likely resuming pretty shortly unless June's connection keeps having troubles, but it looks like we're getting back on the server pretty shortly. There we go. As I say that, the game continues right away. That might still be quite impactful. They're quite a bit ahead, but losing a medic in any game, say, can't be helpful.
Yeah, Gazi just jumped onto the demo and then onto the medic, and this soldier bomb, so aggressive off of that ride by Gazi, and I think it completely wiped, besides for Wanzu, who's behind. Yeah, that's basically going to be a complete wipe without.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Alright, so far so good. I mean, at this point, right, we just got to be as a good position as we possibly can be by the time this Met DC happens to be able to recover from it as much as possible. We'll see whatever that might look like in the end. For now, it's a bit of a trade on the flank. The combo really has to worry getting out of the forward hold position, and MANDEM really wants to go deep, but we're having mixed ideas. Devilman wants to go down the jump pad, everyone else takes it the other way instead. Loses fancy with that, but the rest of the team still can chase people a little bit. Leave a scout behind, have to fall back for that. Cannot chase down the bat nearly as easily as they would like to, but I mean, the red team still has to get out of spawn pretty shortly. Getting away from the Bazooka is not really a win condition anymore.
Yeah, they do actually get June. That's where the lag out happened. It looked like June just standing in a corner, but look at this. Gazi is on a tear. Found Promok in front of 2 players. Finally gets cleaned up. Scout hiding. 2 people actually hiding. Look at that jump straight through the window. And Kiddu does fall to the scattergun of Balder.
And there's the last few seconds running out, but without any heals for at least a couple more seconds on MANDEM. This will go into overtime. Poland getting a second lead on life with that DC, but if, I mean, MANDEM just picks right up where they left off before the pause, and I don't know how long this will really last, and I don't think it's going to be 3 minutes.
Yeah, well, maybe Global Yeti will turn up, do some crazy forward hold play. We'll have to see. This is their chance now to do something. Han spawning forward onto point, taking so much damage. Well, Wanzu does a great job spamming across point. So far, everything's going really well for Global Yeti. It looks like they're again putting both their scouts on point this time. Alav not alone for once. Gazi does get traded off by Scrimus in that house who rotated over, but actually no one's on point. They just capped.
Yeah, that's the tough part about this map, right? The cap's so quick in overtime situations like this. It's so hard to just keep point control the entire time and make a comeback happen. The other team can just bait point over and over and over, and if you don't pay attention for just 1 second, the cap's already there. Very easy to slip up there, and that will be the crucial mistake at the end. Still, I don't think they can be too upset about that one, because, I mean, MANDEM was really just better in most regards this map at the end as well.
Oh, I guess that was my first Kothcast on ETF2L because I forgot they played a 3 over here. I was expecting
Yes.
another round, but yeah.
No, we want to have COF games that end preferably at 30 minutes at some point. So, and we'll do just that for us. No COF games that go that long. 3 will do. That's the win. MANDEM looking mighty strong today. I don't think there was much doubt about it necessarily, but I don't know. People saw the Poles win one and MANDEM lose one. There's always a bit of a chance for an upset, but not today.
Yeah, Global Yeti, it felt like they changed a little bit of how they were playing on mids, but MANDEM just immediately caught up to it, and I feel like Global Yeti just never had an answer to the double scout on point. They kept trying to like do things on the flank, but it never seemed like they would actually all the way commit. They wouldn't like try to send a flank onto the medic or something like that. They would just pressure the houses, and it felt like Alav was taking a lot of pain on point just trying to fight over it by himself with the demo.
Yeah, it did not help. Well, either way, Koth might have been the strong suit 1 week, but certainly MANDEM with a big step ahead tonight. Still proving themselves very capable of winning on the King of the Hill maps just fine. And I mean, with scout numbers like these, I guess it's no surprise.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Balder. And 450, you don't expect the scout to top damage. Top frag, sure, but ahead of the demo on damage, you know that player must have just been hitting meat shots constantly.
Very much so, and I mean, we've seen these guys around. Nagazi, obviously, as Merc, never a bad choice. Obviously, top European scout, very well established by all means, doesn't need an introduction, but coming maybe vaguely cold into a map like this can maybe look a bit awkward sometimes, but no problem. I mean, anyone from his past team having Merc in the past 2 seasons anywhere, just been always still looking good, so all of his former teams still got it, and Gazi, no exception in that regard as well. Still top performing on scout very much. It will be a tough one to expect anything else on this map. I don't know. Against Scatter all the way back in week 1, it was 2 5CP maps. I don't remember which one Snake was in the second one that they played against the Poles. One of them looked a lot better for the Poles than the other. We'll see if Process can be one of those, but I have my doubts about it because MANDEM is just on a tear this season, and especially after that first map, it's going to be hard to imagine anything else.
Yeah, what can you do when the other team has a combo scout that does 450 DPM? I mean, it's just so hard. If you're a soldier player, you have to be shaking in fear. If you go anywhere near that player, you're just going to get sent into the skybox by the scattergun.
Well, here's the thing, right? Global YETI, obviously, one of the 2 teams promoted from the one in the other grand finals alongside the MANDEM also moving up. And, well, they have, okay results for most, but they have also pretty close results, including the tied 2 for Fence last week. Another European top team, so maybe they need to just steal a bit from them, right? It's have that same level of confidence that those guys have as well. Just really not feel like you said just now. I mean, sure, you need to respect them, surely, but you can't just play like you're fearing as well. You gotta just confidently just play your game, try to just make every small opportunity count, and maybe just outpace them just a little bit. Try to play the game just a bit faster than they can handle. Got MANDEM pretty far as well, but it's difficult to do that well, and certainly if that's not their main playstyle they've been employing so far, then it's going to be hard to pivot as well.
Yeah, I agree. It also has to be a huge change coming from Div 1 into Prem. I believe most of these players, if not all of them, this is their first season for
Correct,
YETI.
for all of 2, and one of those is Mark tonight.
One of okay. Yeah, it's a big change, and so as you said, I think that's something that kind of comes with experience, knowing like who cares who you're playing against. You're just gonna put it on your side. You're not gonna play overly passive, and yeah, hopefully they can show that up.
Yeah, I want to see some confidence out of the Poles. Like I said, the first map they played this season against Scatter looked pretty alright for like half of it at least. We're able to keep them at bay for quite a while before the floodgates really opened. Never really had a chance for that on this first map, so we'll see if maybe they have some energy left for that to happen on Process. Obviously, at the best of times, the team still very much can be great, but I mean, we're talking MANDEM here. These guys might have gotten third every time, but despite that, they're still one of the top seeds and one of the favorites to win every single time we see them.
Yeah, definitely. With this first mid, we do see Balder checking the off classes, and we saw a player on Sniper for the Polish side, a bit of mental warfare there. Let's see how this plays out. I'm going to be watching this soldier who's fast rolling out Pearl onto the Seagull spot, spamming rockets over, not quite finding anything too much at the start, but actually June actually just dies to the spam. Promox hitting one as well. That's absolutely crazy. Look at this. Double high bomb coming out for the side of MANDEM, landing on the medic. They do find that frag onto Kiddu. Scrimmage trying to trade out with Balder across point, manages to do so. This mid going all the way mostly to the side of Global YETI.
Yeah, that late map death is still a big problem in the end, but like you said, it was a very surprising death to just spam. No one saw that really coming. June pinged them to have safe in the corner, but everyone was just incorrect, I guess, on the side of MANDEM, and all of a sudden this is a bit of a different game already. MANDEM liking the slightly slower mids on King of the Hill maybe, but not allowed the freedom to do that just yet on this next map. However, oh, look at that, Gazi already just running into the flank, confidently winning a 1v1 scrimmage down right away. Maybe he does go sniper from this, but they have bigger warriors than that. MANDEM very much could just make a move already, and in fact, the flank's trying to get in here, maybe a bit too happily so, just shot down from the roofs of the crate. We'll lose a player right away. That is probably just killing the push, but it should not be the end of the world for MANDEM at least.
Yeah, I wonder if MANDEM thought there was a sniper. Maybe that's why they put their medic so passively, and then the 2-soldier spam caught them a bit off. Either way, we see Kroll jumping in. Looks like no rockets found onto the medic, unfortunately, so just single-person sack for Global Yeti, starting off a bit slow, but they have time on the clock, so they can run one of those single sacks.
Well, we do have the sniper eventually. There's a spy check going on, but doesn't really matter because now they very well have seen the sniper shots come through as well. Out of the 150 falls down and Alof just cleans it up. The rest of the team and Choke can't really support the fire as much as they would like if there's just a sniper rifle on your head the entire time. There's an awkward little sticky trap in PC or sewer even, sorry, but does not look like the blind that will work in the end for Fancy. That is very fortunate for the Poles, who I don't think ever spotted that thing, but it just comes down to playing around the sniper now. Skirmer is very capable sniper, of course, has to still go in here a little bit to actually make something out of it. The headshots are already ringing, but the heads aren't exactly rolling on the floor just yet.
Yeah, Skirmis has hit one headshot onto a soldier, but not quite finding anything else. Looks like Skirmis has said, I've had enough of this doorway, I hate the shutter, I'm just gonna go through Choke, I believe is what we're gonna see here. There are sticky traps being put up by Fancy on sewer, and now some in Choke as well, so this sightline's gonna be a little difficult. We do see Promac with the pan trying to hit a sticky off, hopefully not gonna get themselves dead on there. Back to sewer is apparently where we are.
Hits one on border, but it's just a 150 body shot and a barely buffed scout. Guy survived that too tough one there. He hits all the body shots today. Well, headshot. Scrimmers, very well known top Highlander sniper in Europe as well, for anyone that doesn't know or respect that game mode. But today is not the day where the heads roll. Today is the day where we just hit the bodies. I guess it happens.
Yeah, it seems like MANDEM is playing really I wouldn't say too passively considering a sniper. They are showing themselves, so there are opportunities for the sniper to hit their shots. Granted, it's not easy when you're getting scatterguns thrown in your face, bouncing your aim around. Either way, there might be Global Yeti might be forced to do something beyond just the sniper. Maybe try to send a soldier in when the medic's like up against a wall or something like that. Either way, Skirmis still trying through this back door of sewer, and they do send Cruel as a bomb in, maybe just trying to mix something up, and it's actually going to be MANDEM who takes that bomb and decides to just run into Choke with it. Gazzy does go down, so this is a good start now for the Polish side.
Yeah, I mean, at this point I think Skirmis just has relegated himself to just make sure everyone that peeks takes 50 damage at the very least, trying to make a move here, but they have a bigger worry, and that soldier on mid takes another body shot. He's hitting those just fine today, it looks like. And there's another 1v1 on the flank as well. Cruel going to get the kill onto Lardox as well. And in Man of Desperation, this has escalated heavily against the favor all of a sudden.
Yeah, this is so scrappy. Fancy stuck in IT. Uber trades out on the point side spire. Kroll goes down though. I don't know about this. This is a single demo. Uber versus 2 scouts. What can the demo do besides run away? They're trying to hold down the Choke, but it's not trapped up in time, so these scouts... Skirmis, though, says, who cares about scouts? I'm the sniper class, body-shotting Gazzy down. But look at this, MANDEM's just walking straight through. Wanzu down, Skirmis goes down on the backside. And look at this soldier bombing into Kidu's face. Gets that medic down.
I mean, they gambled it on the solo scout there for a little bit until the second scout arrived, but they were completely right in estimation that the combo was going to be very weak there. Just forced no exchange on them, ran the scout past the Demoman, got another kill, and just escalated it very well from there. MANDEM found a very sketchy position to maybe find that push in the end, but it all worked out once they pulled the trigger and just made much faster game than the team with the sniper could handle. And as much as people like to bemoan the threat of sniper always one-shotting everyone quite a bit, at the end this is where the weakness lies as well. Once it gets messy, it's much harder to hit these shots to begin with, even if they're maybe even more influential then. But as long as you just keep it a bit too hectic for the sniper to shine and just keep the fight up close and personal, you can maybe just deal with it a lot easier.
Yeah, as you said, and we are going to see an Uber come out for MANDEM through the 4 doors. They're trying to get the sentry gun down, which does fall. Fancy trapping up the right spawn while the scout plays the point. Good cap time so far, and these soldiers for Poland did go in. Wanzu and Kroll, though, unfortunately did fall, trying to block the point, and I think that's going to be a clean last push.
Very much so. Cleaned it up from there. Heavy couldn't even get back to touch the cap in time. MANDEM, after a lot of tinkering about how to get out of the sniper situation, figured it out in the end. Skirmis had many opportunities, but most of them just resulted in a whole lot less than 150 damage, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so on this mid, looks like gonna be starting off the same way with the side of Global YETI going a bit towards the right side, a bit of the passive side where they did manage to spam the medic last time. It looks like we're not gonna see that exact same positioning. June a lot more careful about this spam, manages to cross over safely, and we actually see Gazzy dive over across the right side. Wanzu is just down for free, almost with nothing to show for Global YETI. Now the teams have kind of traded sides here.
Yeah, that's always awkward, because now you're way back out to your own half of the map. It's going to be a whole lot longer if you want to fall back in time. Looks like it's another kill to the side of MANDEM. They're not directly engaging progressively until they got these couple of kills, but now they're just stuck in the corner there. A little too late for the push to happen though across the point. The bombs get there, but just as the Uber comes up, makes this a force, not a kill. However, they don't have time to get this Met Force. Once again, they're stuck on the wrong side of town. They gotta get out of here before they can really worry about getting to June, or else he will not survive any of this. Gotta get the Force later after they survive. Bomb comes through to try and make that happen, but just right into the Scout. It's not gonna do much of anything. In the end, Horns goes a little too deep too early there. Should have waited for the team maybe, but they're gonna make a move of it anyway. They still have Uber. This is at the very least still a doable second push.
Yeah, Lardark's bombing over onto the Spire, finds two scouts, but somehow manages to avoid going down. And look, this is going to be Kroll, who kind of got baited into counter bombing, gets cleaned out. Did trade with Balder though, but it looks like Gazzy and everyone else has come forward enough so that Alop goes down. And now with this full add 2 frags, I think we're going to see a quick last push attempt by the side of MANDEM.
Very much. Uber advantage is still there. There's still going to be a pick in their favor by the time they get there. Very much when you would like to make a move before the hold is looking good. No gun, no medic. Wait a second, Stan, it's the pipes. Medic down. And all of a sudden, this has escalated in the complete opposite direction. Gazzy's still in, causing some mayhem. Has Boulder backing it up too. And at the very least, as much as these two scouts might not win the last switch just now, I mean, how is anyone going to comfortably leave when they're still afraid of these guys just running at you the entire time?
Yeah, it looks like Balder is escorting Fancy out of the lobby area. They do get their demo out safely, but maybe they don't know that the Uber's already coming through the upper IT area. Actually, it's not. That's just the demo. Promok just walks through, gets 2. This demo's on a tear. Someone stop Promok. Got 3 with the Iron Bomber as well. That's absolutely huge.
That is insane by Stan just now. I was gonna be not surprised if they ended up not pushing at all there after the scouts ran at them in lobby, but they decided, no, we gotta get out of here. We have the Uber ad. We can't waste too much time. This is as good as it's gonna get, and I like the confidence. And if nothing else, that certainly looked really nice from Poland so far. The fact that they're just not scared away of these situations. They take these sort of fights when there's a chance to do it, which is more or less what I wanted to see out of them. To see there being still a chance to win this, and while it's far from a winning game just now, certainly it could be looking a whole lot worse, especially given how most of Bagel looked like. So it's a step in the right direction, maybe not a big one just now, but I mean, one step at a time.
Yeah, they're bombing in, but maybe they miscounted the Ubers because Promok just falls to that counter pop. Kroll bombed in as well. That's 2 down. No frags for the side of Global YETI. They are running away through IT. Soldier in. Hans though only hits 2 rockets, not quite 150 damage between them. But look at this, Fancy sniping with those stickies is dangerous, gets Kitty down. We're gonna see Skirmish try to go through sewer, but you know, no one on MANDEM's gonna fall for this.
Yeah, very nicely done by Fancy there. Met disappeared behind the rock for a second. It's always a 50-50 they go the other way, but Gambits correctly figured the Met will go back to choke, not go the long way around for the packs in sewer though instead, and works out just fine to do. Only now spawning in. Big ad for June. You can carry this Uber all the way to last, it looks like. Downman even still fighting in lobby, and that's not even the only one that's still in as well. Skirmish all the way back in the meantime too, trying to just fend off anyone that's possibly trying to fight that, but it's maybe just a few too many. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. That is at least Boulder down. That is maybe not a bad thing, I guess, but it's still only the one.
Yeah, and we are going to see another lobby Uber, it looks like, for the side of MANDEM. They are putting everyone in there. I'm on the cam control right now, just trying to build with the escape plan on 300 health. We're going to see Alov go down, Kroll bombing onto the point area, trying to block it desperately, but so far, nothing too much. Wanzu does fall down, and it's actually not really going the side of Global YETI. Balder doing such a good job, played so disciplined. No one on the side of MANDEM just ran in and died. They baited everyone to the points and did a really good job.
Yeah, always nice to keep someone on high ground there in the back for as long as possible. Just deny anyone easy entry towards the point back. We're just shooting right down on them. Works out wonders for MANDEM. 2-point lead. Took them quite a while once again to get this round, but at this pace we'll still be done before the 30-minute mark rings, I suppose. So a little more of this. They might have a lot shorter night than most on the ETF2L officials.
Yeah, looks like this mid playing out again the same. Wanzu alone on the left side. Everyone else goes right, but now double bomb early. Crawl landing on the sewer side, doing so much damage. Wanzu on the demo gets Fancy down to 5 health, but look at that air shot. Lardark's hit a super good air shot over by the billboard side of blue. Hans did trade out, so at the end of this mid, I don't really like it for Global YETI. They do have 2 scouts, but only a demo for the explosive side. Lardark's jumping in, taking all of that ground, and I think that's going to be a clean mid win. Yeah,
they once again realized at least when to get out of this one, even if they cannot stand against the might of these airshots, I'm afraid. Still though, it's only a small L for now on mid. Certainly still can recover from this, but the question is how. Obviously last time we've seen this sort of damage they snipe, but they were the ones on mid that time around as well. Makes it always a bit easier. There's already plays happening, bombs coming through, just seeing what's up so far, not going deep on Lardark's end. The rest of the team still very much threatening more damage from choke, not letting there be too much of a quiet moment.
Yeah, as you said, so much pressure by both of these teams, but no one does go down. Right now, looks like MANDEM, I think this is the first time they've had a stalemate where there's been no advantage on the midpoint that they've been holding. They've kind of always either been on their own second or been having the other team on last. So far, it looks like they're going to be going sewer with Fancy, Balder running all the way through, making sure there's no stickies as Lardark's comes in, so gonna have to see what the play is, if it's an exchange, if it's something in IT. Looks like it's IT. We see Gazi running through there, doing some damage. Not able to find an opening though, so right now both teams just exchanging spam. Lardark's finally initiating, gets double direct onto Alov. MGE Alov apparently just getting MGE'd himself. Balder in, gets that force off, so there's a trade right now going on. Uber's going well for both teams, but Wanzu goes down on the flank, so I think MANDEM's just gonna take this one for free. Promac also really low health.
Yeah, very nice flank control there. Took a smart rotation from a bomb back to the flank by a soldier, gets immediately results of that, and now it's just all the way to last, it looks like. Fancy with the scout from his way. Don't love to see that, but anytime spent shooting a demo man, sure is a whole lot of time that you have just for yourself on point alone as I have a scout on blue and just win around. Fancy very happily just plays distraction there. It means they can get the big 3 on the scoreboard now.
Yeah, I thought that fight was going to go well for Global YETI, but Lardark's just jumped over and just like double directed Alov, so that was absolutely huge.
Alright, back to mid. It has been very long mid-fight so far. It looks like MANDEM's very content with having these mid-fights that just take a while, figure out the long way around and rotate around the map as well, so you get a good late game position on the mid-fight every time and just make sure the other team is in the worst spot possible once they actually start approaching them a little bit more. We'll see if they can switch things up. The Pole's already trying to fix that mistake so far by just going in a bit more aggressive, a bit earlier. Mixed results so far, 1-for-1 trade right away, but there's the bombs coming through on the side of MANDEM. As they realize what's going on, they saw those guys approaching, they just pulled the trigger on the soldiers instantly and just stopped them before they could get any closer to the medic.
Yeah, Balder and Gazi are just such menaces for these soldier players for Global YETI. It feels like every time they do a bomb, it looks so promising, but these scouts don't miss. They get cleaned up. As you said as well, at the start of the mid, the positioning just didn't seem there for Global YETI. A little, like, behind on the rotation, and it seemed like that punished them quite a bit.
Yeah, they tried to compensate with quick aggression, but certainly MANDEM had that well under control, and what started off with pretty competitive, like first 10-ish minutes maybe, has now comfortably fallen into MANDEM's hands, and if nothing else, right, sure you can roll every game in 10 minutes and look good as well, but being able to just dissect your opponent and just get better and better by the time you get to the end, certainly very impressive too. And once again, that's not even a contest. They are scared of the Uber, and I mean, you can hide from it all you want, but you're not going to escape the fact that they are on the cap while they're invincible already, and you're not escaping the scoreline with that either. 4-0 now.
Yeah, on that last push, actually, one of the soldiers for MANDEM was actually on the escape plan, or the pain train. That's how it was ×4 on the cap, so pretty cool play for them.
Always nice to see that off of a fresh respawn after that one mid. Maybe Horns will spawn on pain train this time around. This bomb did not go well. Maybe feeling a bit too happy now, being 4 points up already. Still got to actually confirm the win. First things first to get to 5, but I might have miscalculated on this one, and the rest of MANDEM now gets to suffer the consequences of that.
Yeah, MANDEM actually getting punished here. Look at this push through choke. Alov going down, but Promac found a kill onto Gazi. I think Fancy is caught out here. Yeah, Wanzu gets that one. We see Hans bombing into choke, getting a direct onto Kiddu. How does that medic die? Hans, what a great rocket.
That's gotta do wonders for them at the end of all this. I mean, it was by and part very much his fault, the mid-fight part of it, and well, you know what? We can make up for it right away. I got you guys. Just gets the vent right away. Oh, that's a nice one. Scrimmers with the snipe. We've been waiting for Scrimmers headshots all game, and you know what? Technically, it is not too late.
Yeah, maybe Hans just said, you know, we're up 4, I'm going fast, landing on the demo, I want my frag clip for my season frag video. Didn't quite go their way, but they did get it on the second fight. Uber coming out through IT, we see Fancy jumping over Kiddu, I'm scared for them! Look at this, Fancy just gets 2 on that bomb.
However, the most embarrassing thing about all this is that Lardox tried to type nice shot and nice one at the same time and type NS1 instead. I don't know how you can recover from that one.
Yes. But we do see Alov slowly leaving sewer, finally knowing that they can't hide. There's nothing for them to do. Actually, what am I saying? They're just going through flank. There's a flank play for Alov. That's the play. They do actually find that frag, but I'm worried they're kind of both stuck here. Running at the demo is Alov's idea. Trying to get that frag. Misses 2, 3 scatter shots. Finally finishes up with the winger.
And that'll do it. There's at least still hope in all of this, but they still have to be careful. There's people everywhere. Horn's still lurking on the sidelines there as well. Not out of the woods just yet, even with all those kills in their favor, and they're still having to wait for all the respawns too, just to make sure of that. And in the meantime, MANDEM very much happy to cause more mayhem, just see if the Boulder maybe Fucho can be a bit of a distraction in the meantime. Certainly doesn't amount to a ton just yet, but at the same time, they still have the UAD. These kills just now still got them closer to where they want to be, which is with the UAD. It falls, well, not quite last just yet, but if they kill people here, they certainly are in a good position. And there's the damage coming through Scout and Soldier. Lardox and Boulder just immediately eviscerating 3 people at once, and the rest of them just with a tough task at hand. Cannot escape that. It looks like the flank rotation for the combo as this well under control. And it should more or less wrap up the game right then and there.
Yeah, it seems like this one started off a lot closer, as you said. The first round was back and forth, but I mean, MANDEM, they really just turned up.
Very much, and I think that's not necessarily a bad thing for MANDEM as well, starting slow. When I think back to a lot of like the best teams we had over time in recent memory, it is not uncommon to, even in these games that very much should be ending at 5-0s as well, start a bit slow and just really figure your opponent out, play it smart, you know, not allow there to be any mistakes because you rush things because you think you should just go in and just throw these guys. They respected them, they played around the sniper with the spy check every time as well. I think Boulder was late to mid as well at one point, just because he almost forgot to spy check, went back to do it real quick, just to make sure they do not want to make mistakes here. They take these games serious, even at this stage in the early season, and in matches that they should very much win, but they know how to win them, and if it takes a minute to do that, they're willing to do that, because they are very much capable of still choking here and then there. I mean, everyone has so far this season, right? MANDEM should not be an exception. They want to make sure to not make silly mistakes, and I mean, for the most part tonight, they haven't.
Yeah, definitely. MANDEM kind of putting on notice every other team in Premiership. They're saying this is their season. They're kind of walking over a lot of teams. As you said, they haven't done completely perfectly. They did drop a map, but I feel like MANDEM's out here, and they made a statement tonight.
Yeah, I don't think this MANDEM roster will get worse than third this time around as well. Maybe they can even do better than that. Certainly with performances like this, that is very much in the cards. Lower kills and all that than last time, but it was a very quick game in the grand scheme of things still. And just brilliant performances all around. I mean, by God, they got W's as well. So that just goes to show who had control of the whole game. That was the first little bit at the beginning maybe, but even then, the difference in how easily they could approach the stalemate from the polls compared to MANDEM is just night and day.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Alright, well, that is tonight wrapped up. That's the only game we have for you tonight, I'm afraid, chat. But just because we have only one game tonight doesn't mean we don't have a lot more content coming at you tomorrow. There is a busy day tomorrow. We have, among other things, I think a game a lot of people are looking forward to. Forfans against TLR, I think, is the standout match to me there tomorrow, because the high end of the table, right behind MANDEM, it is as close as can be. 15 points on Forfans, technically at 16, but they don't know how to submit results on the ETF2L website, so they've gotten 1 point removed from the admins as punishment. So it is really close down there, and then Scatter and TLR right behind them at 14 each. That is an early battle for second. I'm sure there's still a couple of things that can go wrong week 6 and 7 for everyone involved to change things down the line there, but certainly getting 6-point lead over someone that you're currently 1 point difference from will make a huge difference by the end.
Yeah, every point does matter, so be sure to check out those games we have Thursday, because there are a lot of them.
Alright, and with that, we'll see you tomorrow, chat. Bye-bye!